People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, you lot know me, wannabe scout, like to watch football and footballers. And I thought I'd do a vid in regards to what the season's more or less got started with, well, it's September the 30th at the time of making this vid. So let's just say just over a month done. And I thought I'd speak about a couple of players that I've looked at and have taken a shine. The first player I'm going to say is actually someone who I've known about, but I like the progress they're making this season. Nathan Ferguson. Plays for West Bromwich Albion, scored at the weekend against QPR, and I like him a lot. 18 or so years of age, England international. What I like about him is his mentality. He seems to take everything in his stride. He seems to not be fazed by anything, especially away games. And that's testament to him, his temperament, and clearly his upbringing, because he knows it's just a game of football. You shouldn't be scared of this sort of thing. I like him. I like how he relishes things. The way he speaks after games, you can tell he's someone that understands football and is very intelligent. He's very committed. He's very brave. Obviously, with the new age of defenders, he's very comfortable with his ball at his feet. He can bring it out from the back. He can pass the ball. Admittedly, I want to see a bit more, and I'm still learning about him as I watch him. But I'd describe his passing as all right. He's nothing like Michael Richards, but he reminds me of a young Michael Richards when I was seeing him in primary school. He's nothing physically like him, but just in his terms of his mannerisms at times, and he's completely different to him. But he's someone for me, Nathan looks like someone that, let's just say he stayed at West Brom for the next significant years. He's someone you can see being captain at 26 years of age. He obviously scored a decent goal. I felt QPR's keeper could have done a lot better. But just the confidence to drive into the space and hit it, and to hear him say that after the interview that he recognised these things is very good. Many young players are still playing on instinct and not being calculated. You'll be surprised how many footballers actually stop and think while they're playing. And I really like him. Centre-half by trade, has filled in at left-back at the weekend, I believe, has actually played at right-back as well. So that shows his intelligence, his confidence, and his adaptability. If he keeps playing the way he's doing for West Brom, opportunities will come to probably move to the Prem and whatnot. I think he's in a good place where he is now. If he can get 50 or so appearances and aim for that, the move will come. Obviously, West Brom got a good crop of players. They've got a player who I used to play with at grassroots level, Darnell Furlong. Personally, I believe if my last name was Furlong, I'd be a professional footballer as well. But big up to him. You've got Darnell Furlong. You've got Semi J, ex-Arsenal lad. You've got that lad on loan from West Ham. Is it and Diang, I cannot say his name. He's playing quite well for West Brom. Is it Pereira of West Brom as well? Don't know how old he is. Or actually, I've seen him before he went there. Or at least I can't remember him, not going to lie. West Brom got a good little side. So I like what I've seen from Ferguson. Is it Aaron Hickey or Aaron Hickey? I can never say his name. But 17 years of age. He played last season against Celtic in the Cup, I believe. He plays for Hearts in Scotland. He's 17. He's probably a fullback by trade. Can play on the left, can play on the right. Has actually played in midfield, people. He scored a couple of goals. He scored at the weekend. I like his tenacity. I like his energy. I think he's a confident player as well. Remains to be seen where he'll develop long term. But he's someone I want to keep my eyes on, man. Because there's people who say, oh, it's Scottish League and whatnot. But you've got to look at where these players are coming from. Van Dijk was at Celtic. Do you get it? Robertson was in the Scottish League. Do you get it? Dombele, who's gone to Lyon, was in the Scottish League. There's talent everywhere, people, if you just got to look in the right place. And I think he's someone that I'm going to look at even more and get to know. And I really like him. And he's already getting a list of admirers. I've seen Reading, Manchester City and Southampton links just by typing in his name. Obviously, people need to... When a scout of these clubs is at the games, it's not necessarily that they want to sign these players. It's just their job is to stay knowledgeable on everything. And if he continues, he'll make the move, because he is quite brave for a young 17-year-old, and he's doing his thing, man. So we'll see how he develops. I really like Kelvin Steggs. I can never say his name. Stengs of AZ Alkmaar. I think he started off the season well. I think he actually started off the season well in the opening Europa League stage game. And they're actually playing against Manchester United. I believe, doing my research, he's a United fan. These things write themselves, innit? They've obviously got Baidu as well, the young striker. So I like what I've seen from him. What other things have we got? We definitely got more than this, people. Definitely got more than this. Give me a second. As you can see, I've just got pure notes, people. Pure notes. But we'll find them in the end. Here we go. You've got Peter Thomas of Rochdale as well. He made his debut and became the youngest ever debutant. I became aware of him just watching the highlights of Manchester City's under-21s. Obviously, they've got Luke Maidstone and previously Dan Ashted. So Rochdale is a team that gives people chances. Meka Obi, I've liked what I've seen from him. Enzo Lafi, I like what I've seen from him for Lorient. Good technical level, very good cultured player, 19-year-old central sort of midfield player. Assessing him as we mean to go on, because we got Guendouzi from there. Obviously, I'm watching Toulouse, and I like what I've seen from Kelvin Amian. He's played centre-half, and he can play at full-back. And Diakite, I've done a video on Diakite before. I believe both of them respectively at 18, 19, because against... It was either St Etienne or it could have been Salzburg, but both of them played, and they showed their youthful naivety at times, but they played quite well. And I believe it was actually a draw. And I used that game to look at Sangre. I can never say his name. The Ivory Coast international midfielder, very tall, very composed. I like him a lot. Must admit, I could maybe just by taking off my own bias on what I like about him, maybe there could be. I don't think his passing is bad, but when I look at it and I look at how City like to play, how Emery likes to get Xhaka to get onto the ball, for example, with the centre midfield players being good on the ball, he's not terrible. He's chipped in with an assist and whatnot, but I do think his passing is probably one of the things that makes people go, maybe it was just an off day, but I can only talk on what I've personally seen people. There are a couple of other players as well. Paul Torres of Villarreal, I've liked the look of him. He still looks mad naive for a 22-year-old. Xavi Quintilla, left back. I think he's contracted till 2020. He plays for Villarreal as well. I'm sure he was at Barcelona and he's built his career again. Jude Bellingham, of course, he's getting stronger and stronger week in, week out for Birmingham. You've obviously got Unava, who's playing in the youth ranks primarily for Ajax, but this man's a baller, people. Unava is going to be a good guy. So is Shirky, I can never say his name, of Lyon. They've both shone in the youth equivalent of Champions League this season. If you saw Unava against Lyon in the youth gen, you'll know what I'm on about. The guy is going to have a great future. And between Jude Bellingham and Unava, I would throw blank checks at both of them. And I think Jude Bellingham needs to kind of just look at Dele Alli as an inspiration, in the sense that he doesn't need to leave Birmingham. He's playing games. Like, not many managers are throwing 16-year-old lads in there. I watched Marseille versus Rennes just now before I started this vid as well. You lot know that. I can't remember names, man. The 16-year-old Rennes lad with the dreads, he played quite well, but I think he showed his youthful exuberance for Marseille's goal. But these are two 17-year-olds or so I'll go for. Jude Bellingham needs to be like Dele Alli, in the sense that you look at how many appearances Dele made for MK Dons before the move to the Premier League happened. There's no rush. Sure, he could move to Arsenal or City, two teams linked with him, but would he play? I want him a lot at this club, people. I think he should play and should get the opportunities again at Birmingham here, but he's in the right place. The move will come. Ambitions to move beyond will come. Hopefully he's an Arsenal fan and he chooses here. And I would just love Unava in the same way I would love Gravenberch from Ajax as well, people. But you lot know me, I want every youth player. I don't feel I'm missing anyone else out. I am. I've become aware of, and I haven't watched him regularly, I was put onto this player by my friend, Sam McCollum of Coventry. He's 19, he's come from non-league, he's a fullback. He's played 12 to 14 times, a handful of times for them, and he's putting in committed performances to the point where he's been linked with Arsenal, he's been linked with a couple of teams, he's been linked with Leeds, and I want everybody to come from non-league to go and do these things, because it's nice to see clubs are looking at that level. I know it's completely different, but you look at Bashir Humphreys of Chelsea, he came into the professional game late and now he's in their academy, so they're starting to look at this sort of level, people, and it's encouraging. It's very encouraging to see from him, so keep it up. And I like him. Obviously Maddison was at Coventry, so again, you just have to pay attention to these things. Kwame Poku as well, I like what I've seen from him. He's an 18-year-old. He can play on the flanks as well. I like how he's taken to life after coming from non-league for his club as well. You've obviously got Todd Miller, who, if you remember, if you're a Colchester fan, he made his debut as a 16-year-old lad and he's gone to Brighton. I knew he was a decent player, but after seeing him at under 18s level against Arsenal, I think he could be someone to progress for them. There's a couple of decent players at Brighton. There's one Irish lad. I remember speaking about him after the under-17s European Championship. They've got some ballers at that club, people. So he can go the way if he does his thing. He's only 16, so let's not get ahead of ourselves and whatnot. But he's decent in my opinion. Really like Kelvin, Amian and Diakite as well, the two centre-halves of Toulouse, in case I never specified that. But I don't feel I'm missing anyone else out. Obviously, I am trying to assess Mangala Sarr as well, because he's more or less said if his club Nice never got new investors, he probably would have kept it moving. But there's not much for me to say or add, people, so I'm just going to keep it moving and get out of here. People, Deluded, thank you for watching and rocking as usual. Out.